Do you still remember the last time the cell phone data analyst appeared inside the court when he told us that yes indeed there was a cell phone which made call from accused number 5 to the mastermind of the killing of Robert Senzo Meyiwa, which is Khumalo, according to this cell phone data analyst. And all these allegations, it was challenged by the defense lawyers who had to tell the court that these cell phone numbers was not registered under the name of the accused number 5. And at that time, the state advocate George Baloyi could not be able to bring even more evidence to the court that can prove that these cell phone numbers, it was registered under the name of the accused number 5. So just because George Baloyi could not be able to bring enough evidence, this had given a good opportunity to all the defense lawyers who had to say that no, look, this cell phone number you are talking about, it was not Rika under the accused number 5, and a simple call, it is not enough evidence, because a person can, any number can make a call to Khumalo, and that does not mean that this number belongs to the accused number 5. Well, as we're talking right now, the state advocate George Baloyi, he came back to court. This time he not came with empty-handed. He came with more proof to show that actually these cell phone numbers, it was recorded and it was also used to open a bank account by the accused number 5. So, according to George Baloyi, this cell phone, it is indeed belongs to the accused number 5, and he made call to the mastermind, of course, Khumalo, and the first call, it was made in August 2014. That was 2 months before Senzo Meyiwa was killed. And the second call, it was made in 15th of October. That was about 2 weeks before Senzo Meyiwa was killed. So, what the state is trying to do so far is to try to prove to the court that yes, indeed, these people, they were in contact and they were having cell phone contact which links them. Well, here's what George Baloyi told the court.
Mr. Sain, page 23 said, then my next point during my analysis, I discovered that Khumalo with a number which she gives, she received a call from Ntulingani with the number 073-305-9202, and he goes on to say it belongs to Sifo Kuhle. Then he continues on page 76, proceedings of 27 July 2023, line 9, says the start date of the call was 2 August 2014 and the time was 22:40. And the duration of the call was 110 seconds, close to 2 minutes. What is your comment regarding that number?
Thank you, my lord. The number is found on the XTS, so some other time accused 5 must have given the number up on as a reference on the credit report. So it's exactly the same number that was told there.
So this is George Baloyi, who's the state advocate, and this time was asking question to Colonel Stein, who's the cell phone data analyzer, and this man who had to come and tell the court that indeed there was a call which took place from this cell phone number to Khumalo and was referring to the accused number 5, Mr. Thuli, and saying that the first call after the merit, it was around 10 p.m. and it lasts about 2 minutes. So you can only have an idea what it was discussed in that 2 minutes. And the second call, it was made 2 weeks before Senzo Meyiwa was killed. And this number, it was given to Thuli as a reference.
From line 8, it says, in other words, she received a call, and the call was on 15 October 2014 at 17:33:57. The time of the duration of the call was 98 seconds, a minute and a half, more or less. Then the other part is the same. It is 073-305-9202, which belongs to suspect 5. And he says the tower reception area was 2G Ivydale Farm, somewhere in Limpopo. What is your comment regarding that number?
It's the same number, but I can't, like I said, I can't tell you about the 205. The date was? 15 October.
Yes.
15 October. You see, now XS doesn't tell me when the
Yes.
calls was made.
Yes,
But like I said, he gave up the number on November as a reference number.
So this cell phone data, it was recovered during the arrest of these 5 accused, and they had to go and find also the kind of the conversation which they had through WhatsApp and some of the pictures which the state advocate had to reveal again to the court.
A witness came yesterday, Sergeant Mohani, and testified that the cellular phone that is referred to here was obtained from accused number 2 on the 7th of August 2021 in the cells in Valeria Police Station after they received a tip-off that he was in the cells, not that it was retrieved when he was arrested. Do you want to comment on that?
I can't comment on that. That's what I was given a request by Understand.
Now, just to polish up on this point, and accused number 2 agrees with what is written in the request form that upon his arrest on the 16th of June 2020, 2 cellular phones were seized from him by the arresting officers, Sergeant Mabena and Mohani. And this J5 is the one that was retrieved on the 16th of June, not on the 7th of August 2021. So it agrees with you.
So, according to Colonel Kanyelo, who's the cell phone data analyzer, had to confirm again that these same cell phone numbers, they were continuing to communicate with Kelly Khumalo, even though they were already being under the police custody. In other words, even when they were in the prison, they were continuing communicating with Kelly Khumalo. What were they communicating about? Of course, only time will tell. But these allegations, it was disputed by the defense lawyer of Bongani Tanzi.
At the time this image was taken with that phone from the camera of that phone, accused number 2 will tell this court that he was already in custody from the 16th of June 2020 without the access to take even this photo. So he did not take this photo.
I can't comment on that.
So, according to the defense lawyer, he's saying that Bongani Tanzi, who's one of his clients, when he was arrested, he was not having his phone anymore. And this cell phone number that belongs to Thuli, it was saved in the name of Lungisani. And it is under this cell phone number that communicate with the rest of these accused who are standing inside the court. But the defense lawyer says that nope, according to Bongani Tanzi, denied all these allegations, saying that the cell phone number can't be registered under the name of Lungisani. At the same time, it is the same cell phone number that belongs to Thuli.
My instructions from accused number 2 is that he does indeed know this Lungisani person. And that Lungisani person is not accused number 5, Fisokuten Thuli. It's a different person at all.
I can't comment on that. That's according to the database I received, and that's the analysis I've done.
Now, just to enumerate that point, that Lungisani is not accused number 5, and the number attributed there does not belong to accused number 5. Accused number 2 instructs me that Lungisani's surname is, I'm not even sure that I should mention it in court, let me leave it. But he instructs me as follows, that they are allowed to make calls from the public phones at prison where he is accommodated. And he does speak to this person on this number on weekends when he's allowed to phone.
So guys, looking at it, you will see that there is a lot that is going on in this trial. And by the time it gets to the end, I believe that you will discover a lot of drama that will come across this trial. Because if you see very well, this cell phone data analysis that they are bringing inside the court, The only reason they're doing all this is because the state advocate want to prove to the court that these people, I'm referring to the all 5 accused who are standing inside the court, that they are indeed good friends, they know each other. That's what the state is trying to do. And at the same time, it's trying to show to the court that they did not do it on their own, they were at the service of someone. So there is a true mastermind behind all this murdering of Senzo Meyiwa. And this reminds me of what the former defense lawyer, we're talking this time about Tefo Malisela, who were talking about the second docket. The second docket that they had denied its existence inside the court. And today, seeing all these things coming out, don't you think that these 2 lawyers, they were right when they first spoke about this before? So, because looking at it, you can tell already that some names, some mastermind, big fish who are behind this case, they are out there, they are living their life like nothing had happened. They are out there and doing their normal activities. And yet, inside the courts, we are having people who are there also trying to prove how innocent they are. And the evidence still there at the same time. So, you will see that the state is trying to prove that. And at the same time, the defense advocate, they are also trying to fight back by defending, saying that no, this is not the case, because a mistake can happen. People, they can be mistaken. And according to their clients, they never had such kind of cell phone numbers, and they never had a cell phone number which was resisted by a person called by those names that was mentioned inside the court. So you will see that as they're still discussing on this part, I don't know what is it gonna take in order for them to understand that whatsoever they're trying to prove to the court, in order for it to be more clear, in order for people to understand it, they need to go beyond all this by bringing the right people inside the court so that they can answer to those questions. Because it will be like you are asking questions to the wrong people. And let's say, for an example, what the state is putting to the table or to the court, it is indeed the truth. And let's say maybe the court, they consider it. What will happen next? Well, what will happen next is that Kelly Khumalo will have to be arrested immediately, because she'll be considered, or according to the state, she's being considered already as the person who worked with these people before Senzo Meyiwa was killed, during the operation of Senzo Meyiwa, and after when Senzo Meyiwa was killed. Now the question still remains: if this is how the state thinks of someone as Kelly Khumalo to be the person who's the mastermind behind all this, why she's still free? That is just a question, because I believe it's the same question that each and one of you who's watching this court case, you can tell that you have to ask yourself the same questions, because you can't mention my name and yet it is other people are inside the court and me, I can't be inside the court. It does not make sense. But anyway, we shall wait and see what will happen. And as we told you that we will be watching this case more closely, and if we find anything interesting, we can come and talk to you about it again. So guys, thank you so much for taking your time to watch this video until now. I really do appreciate your time. And do me a favor before you leave, make sure that you give us your thumbs up, like this video on your numbers, so that it can be recommended to many more people out there, so that it also can motivate us, so that we can come back and make another one for you. And if you find anything interesting, please drop us your comment in the comment section, so that we can also get to see your opinions or your point of view. But make sure that you subscribe to the channel. If you have not subscribed to the channel, we'll really do appreciate that. And that will be all for today. For now, continue to be yourself, be good, be kind, have respect for everyone in order for you to be respected. May God bless you all. I'll see you again very soon. Ciao, ciao.